Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today as I'm going to talk briefly about marathon couples counseling, what it is, what happens during it. I'd like to pull back the veil, so to speak, and share with you a glimpse into that whole process. So, if you've wondered what is marathon couples counseling and how does it help, and what's the plan or the agenda? Do we sit for 8 hours and just fight? Is there a program? What does that look like? I'm here to provide some clarification and some clarity around that. So, first off, who is marathon couples counseling for is a question that comes up sometimes. And here's who marathon counseling is for. First of all, it's for a couple that needs or wants to make a significant amount of progress in a very, very short time period. So, whether that's due to a crisis, whether that's due to busyness and schedules, maybe one or both of you travel, or whether that's due just to the longing that each of you have to have a better relationship now, and we don't want to take months and months to really see that progress. That's what marathon counseling is there for. So I've been privileged since opening up Uplift Counseling Center to work with several couples in an intensive format, whether that was one time or a few intensive sessions scheduled maybe once or twice a month. And what we do is we work through the issues that bring you into couples counseling with all the available tools given to you in a quick, digestible manner so that you can see progress on day one, so that you can really even overcome gridlock that's existed for years, so that you can understand how to repair and strengthen or rebuild the bond in your marriage or relationship, and so that you leave that intensive with tools. You leave with a 3-month follow-up program to continue strengthening your relationship and overcoming the issues that brought you to couples therapy for the first in the first case. But as I was saying, many couples they need a few or a couple of those, and so they just schedule those out once a month, or so on and so forth. And those are the folks that I do offer twice a month to come in on a Saturday and do an 8-hour program. So it starts with an assessment to kind of go back a little bit. We'll do that over the phone, about 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at the most. Then it's followed up by an online assessment that you and your significant other would complete. That online assessment is about an hour and a half for each person, and it tells me just about anything about your relationship that's very important for us to know and work on. It's also a place to share some maybe more personal thoughts that you're not ready or don't know how to share with your spouse. Then I'll take those results, study them, and come up with a plan. And then the first couple of hours of the intensive, we're confirming what I'm seeing, and I'm getting your real time take on your relationship and what the challenges are and why they exist and where they came from. And then we do a treatment plan. And then the rest of the day, for about 4 to 5 hours, that first intensive day, we're working on intervention. And what I find is it takes us an hour or two to really get into the meat of the matter. And so that's where that format is really, really beneficial for a lot of couples. So some folks, the finances are a barrier, and that's okay. We're willing to work with you week to week. However, if it's an option for you, if it fits either your schedule or your budget or your situation, and you'd like to know more about marathon couples counseling and how you can boost your relationship forward much quicker, and then maybe follow up with some maintenance counseling to continue that process, I'd be more than glad to answer your questions, share more about that with you, and just have that dialogue. It's been a privilege today to share this with you, but truly a privilege to do this, to see the transformation take place in one day, in 2 days. It is an honor, and I'm more than glad and happy to share that with you if that's a need. So please reach out, email, call. Let me know if you have any thoughts or questions about that. And next time I get on video, I'll share more relationship tips. So I hope you have a terrific weekend, and thank you for watching. Bye.